told her he was going to kill Biggie. She knew it was going to happen. She was purposefully not by her husband's side that night. It happened, and she was told she had to lie about it. And guess what? That lie held up until that boy turned 18. And he started having ideas of what he wanted to do, what he inherited. Because the paperwork was set up for Faith to not be able to receive $1 from Biggie's estate unless it was for little Christopher. And she only had one child with Christopher. The other children who required taking care of and feeding and all of them couldn't be fed off of Christopher Wallace's money. They weren't his kids. See how that works?
Right. How do you feel about the people that say Biggie was asking for him coming to LA so soon after Tupac got killed and him getting on the radio rapping Long Kiss Goodnight?
Man, you would get 100 people in the room, and out of the 100 people, probably 3 would say it was all right for Big to be in LA. 97% of those people would say he had no business in LA at that time. We all knew that. Why would Puff rent studio time? Come on, man, look. You gotta look at what people do, man. You know Pac just got killed. It ain't no kind of business Big was doing. Big couldn't even walk, he couldn't run. They was pushing him around in a wheelchair, brother. Why the hell would you rent studio time in LA for him to finish your album when in fact you got your own studio, Daddy's house? Let's keep it a buck. Let's stop this bullshit, man. Let's stop doing these interviews, man, about this shit. Because people ain't getting it. He did not want the beef with the Crips. Puff ain't want the beef with the Dog Pound, Snoop them or whatever. Big started that beef. You understand what I'm saying? Puff ain't want none of that beef. So what I'm gonna do is, y'all want the sheep? I'm gonna put them out the pasture. Catch them if you can. If you the wolf, if you got that wolf in you, catch them if you can. Why in the hell you would put your man in a situation by sending him to Cali to work on your album? When you know, not his Nimitz, but your Nimitz was just by that you was running with. Why would you?
More irritated with the fact that, you know, how the situation is going down, especially what Puffy is doing. Yeah, he's darn right about that. Puffy looks crazy right now. You know what I mean? That's why I said in my book from my show, Puffy, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to rock with anybody that hard, you should be rocking with me that hard.
This is 50.com.
If you're going to rock with anybody that hard. You know what I mean? And you can never make another Big and Kim. That's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. Like, what? You kidding me? This is never going to happen. Like, I don't get it. But, you know, at the end of the day, like, Puffy is Puffy. I mean, you know, it's all about what he can do, what he can get from people. That's it. Puffy it's all about himself a lot of times. Because he never really did nothing to me.
It's wild.
Kim and Diddy became close
really
in the 90s after she joined the group
way back in the day,
MAFIA,
but nobody listened.
Which was put together
she
by
even
the
warned
notorious
folks about
B.I.G. Biggie,
and people
was
laughed at her back
the
then
one
too.
who introduced Kim to Diddy.
Fast forward,
but
and
even
more
though Diddy
and
was
more
her friend and
celebrities
manager,
are starting to
he
speak
never
up
signed
about
her
what
to
they
his
saw
label,
while
Bad
working
Boy
with
Records.
Diddy.
Why?
Before,
Because he didn't think she had what it took to be a star.
And Jaguar
he
Wright
even told
sharing
MTV
stories,
that she was
voices
too
that were
pretty
often
to be rapping,
dismissed as
and that
dramatic.
female rappers
But now their
it's
words
wild.
are hitting different.
Lil' Kim
because
really
too
tried to
many
warn
puzzle
people about
pieces
Diddy
are
way back in
starting
the
to
day,
line up.
but no one listened.
Jaguar
She
Wright
also warned
claimed
folks
Diddy
about Biggie,
openly
and
told
people
Faith
laughed at her
Evans
back
that
then
he was
too.
going to kill
Now
Biggie,
more celebrities
that
are
she
starting
knew
to
it was
speak
coming,
up about what they
and that
saw
she was
while working with
instructed
Diddy.
to lie about
Before,
what
it was
really
mostly
happened
people
the
like
night
Gene
Biggie was
Deal and
taken
Jaguar
out.
Wright sharing
That
stories,
lie
but they were
supposedly
often
held
dismissed
up
as being
until
dramatic
Christopher Jr. turned 18
Gene Deal
and
even
started
claimed that
questioning
Diddy
what
brought
he had
Biggie to
inherited.
LA on purpose
The
so he'd get
paperwork
dealt
around
with.
Biggie's
How you
estate
do
was
that?
airtight.
Same
Faith
thing
could
with
only
Lil'
access
Kim.
money for
People
their
didn't
son,
take her seriously.
not for other children.
But after everything
To
coming
many,
out
it
now,
looked like Diddy
some
had
folks are
engineered
finally
it that
starting
way.
to listen.
Gene Deal, Biggie's
Hold on,
former
how'd you
bodyguard,
guys hook
has
up?
long
Why'd you guys
maintained that Diddy deliberately
we
brought
met through
Biggie to
Biggie.
Los Angeles, knowing the risk.
And it's funny because
He
when
pointed
I
out
first
the
met him,
obvious.
I
Pac
thought he
had
didn't
just
like me
been
'cause
murdered.
every time he saw me,
The
he'd
streets
lick
were
his tongue at me.
boiling.
He'd make a funny
Biggie
face.
could barely walk after an
then as the
injury.
years went
Why put
by,
him in harm's way
I
across
saw
the
how much
country
love
when
he
Diddy
had for
already
me.
had
I love
studios
you,
in New
Pop,
York?
and I'm so happy.
Deal says it wasn't about music. It was about moving big into position, setting him up to be vulnerable. And then there's Lil' Kim. Back in the 90s, she was close to Diddy through Junior Mafia,
Now,
a group Biggie helped
you
form.
must have-
Diddy was her friend, her
what kind of
manager,
stuff you guys
but
do
he
when it
never
comes to
signed
your
her to
guys'
Bad
show?
Boy. Why?
Wow, they-
According to him, she was
They do
too
different
pretty
things.
to
I
be
remember one time I
rapping,
was
and he didn't
going to a
believe
show in
female rappers
Atlanta,
could sell.
and this
Even
guy
after her
came up to me and
debut
was
album
like, "Oh,
Hardcore
wow,
sold
look at
over
me,
1 million
picked me up
copies,
and threw me over
Diddy
his shoulder and
refused
started
to
running
fully
up
back
the
her.
airport.
Over time, Kim began to see the pattern. Diddy, she says, was all about himself. When she went to prison in 2005, he never visited,
what happened to
never
him?
sent money, never wrote. Instead, while she was locked up,
Problems between
he
Kim
started
and
working
Diddy
with
didn't
Nicki
stop there.
Minaj,
In
Kim's
another
rival.
recording, Kim
When
said
asked
that Diddy
about it,
always
he brushed
did wrong
her
by
off,
people,
calling
but
Nicki
managed to get
his
away with it
artist
because
now.
of his money and power.
To Kim, it was
She
betrayal.
said he never helped
to
her when
fans,
she
it
was
was
going
proof
through
of how
hard
Diddy
times,
uses people, then
especially
moves
when
on.
she went to prison from
And Kim says it went
2005
deeper.
to 2006
She
for
revealed that
perjury.
Diddy blocked her
While
from
she was locked up,
career-defining
she
opportunities.
said Diddy never
features
visited,
with Cisco
never
on
wrote
Thong
her,
Song,
and didn't
even
even
in
give her a phone
collaboration
number
with
to
Michael
reach out.
Jackson.
Oh, he one letter.
Rodney Jerkins told
And
her
if
that
that wasn't
Michael
enough,
loved her
while
style
Kim
and
was in
wanted her
prison,
on an album.
Diddy started working
but
with
when
her
the
music
request
rival,
went through Diddy,
Nicki Minaj.
nothing ever
When
happened.
people asked him about
Looking
it,
back,
he brushed
Kim
it off,
believes
saying
Diddy
Nicki was his
sabotaged her
artist now,
chances on purpose.
and he didn't work with Kim anymore.
Meanwhile,
even
the
though he still
speculation
had
around
love for
Biggie's
her.
death
On
has
top of
never
that,
stopped.
Nicki even threw a
Faith
jab
Evans
at Kim in
defended
a song
Diddy,
with
saying
Diddy's group
he
Dirty
loved
Money.
Big like a brother, and that her family
Kim also
never
revealed
believed
that
Diddy
Diddy
was
blocked
involved.
her from some major
But
career
others
opportunities.
weren't convinced.
She said she
Rumors
could have been
about Faith
featured
and
on
Diddy
Cisco's
being
Thong
too
Song,
close
a huge hit,
only added
but
fuel.
Diddy told her to play
Jaguar
hard to
Wright
get,
even claimed Faith
and the
was
opportunity
hired
slipped
to
away.
get to Biggie,
She believes he was
adding
holding
another
her
layer
back
of
on
suspicion.
purpose. And that wasn't
Gene
the
Deal
only time.
insists what
Kim
happened
shared
wasn't
that Michael
a random
Jackson
drive-by.
himself wanted her
He
to
says
be on
someone
one of his
from their
albums
own
after
circle
hearing her
marked
music.
Biggie's SUV
Producer
with
Rodney
life after
Jerkins
death
told her that
stickers,
Michael
so
loved her
everyone
sound
knew
and wanted
which
her
car
to
to
join the
target.
project.
Pac's
But
car
when they
didn't
went
have
to Diddy
them.
about it,
Biggs
since
did.
he was her manager
Years
at the
later,
time, nothing
Gene
ever
realized
came of
it meant someone on the
Kim said
inside
she was young
wanted
and
Biggie
didn't know what was
identified
going on
that
behind
night.
the scenes.
The
But
pain
looking
of that
back,
night still
she
haunts
thinks
him.
Diddy might have
Gene
sabotaged
describes
it.
pulling Biggie's
So
lifeless
crazy.
body from the SUV,
Rodney Jerkins,
saying he
was working
replays it
on,
in his
Michael
mind
Jackson's
every
album.
day. He
And
said,
he was
I was
like,
placed to protect him,
"Yo,
but I couldn't stop what
I was
happened.
playing
He
Queen
believes it wasn't just
for
enemies
Michael
on the
Jackson.
street,
And he
it was
like,
betrayal
"Man, I love
within
how
their
she
own crew.
raps behind
And that
the
brings
beat,
us
and
back
it's
to
so
Lil'
sexy."
Kim. She knew things. She saw things. And for years, she stayed quiet, reportedly warned by Diddy not to speak. But now, people say she's done protecting him, that she's ready to tell the truth about what went down in the 90s with Biggie, with Bad Boy, with Diddy himself. If
Biggie
Kim
met
ever
Diddy in
decides to open up
1992,
fully, she
after
could
Diddy
blow the
saw an
lid off
article
one of
about
the
him in a
biggest
magazine.
scandals in hip-hop
Impressed,
history.
Diddy set up a
because
meeting,
she was
and
there.
not long after
she lived
that,
it.
Biggie
She saw
signed to Diddy's
everything
label,
unfold.
Bad Boy
So here's the
Entertainment.
question.
Right when
will
it
Lil'
launched
Kim
in
finally speak her
1993.
truth? And
Then
if
in
she does,
1994,
how much
Biggie
will it
dropped
change
his
what we
debut
thought
album,
we knew
Ready to
about
Die,
Diddy,
which
Biggie,
became
and
a
the golden
huge
era of
success.
hip-hop?
Things for each other, but like I judge by what happens afterwards. When I was locked up, and here's where Puffy should feel really bad. When I was locked up, Puffy never put a fucking $10 bill, a penny, a quarter in my commissary. He never wrote me a letter. He didn't try to come see me. None of that. I got people like Oprah. She wrote me 3 letters, right? She wrote me 3 letters and sent me 3 of her favorite books, which I love her to this day for that, because those books were so inspiring. And one of them, well, I'll tell you the name of the books later, but anyway, you know, Tyra Banks writing me. Mark Jacobs wrote me every freaking day. He told me everything that was going on from when he first woke up to the end of the night. What does it take just to say, let me make sure somebody who was a major part of my family is all right? You know, like when you locked up, the one major thing is that makes you feel like, damn, this person really loved me and is on my side is that when they just take the time out to do one little thing. It's not even the big things that matter, because it ain't the money. I was straight in jail. I had too much money in my commissary. When I came home, they had to send my money back. It wasn't that, but you could have came to see me one time. You could have.
A lot of people in a certain way. We've been those cats that people have aspired to be. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't be around Nikki if I ever heard nothing ever negative said about Kim. You know what I'm saying? I never heard nothing like that. But then when it comes to just being an MC, that's when I gotta stand back. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they want to do things and be MCs, that's their business. I'm not with any negativity. I'm not with no beef. You know what I'm saying? And I love both of them. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, you know, right now, Nicki Minaj, you know, that's who my artist is. That's who I consult. That's who I do business with. I no longer do business with Kim on that level, but Kim will always have a special place in my heart. And it's like that. Kim is the queen. I mean, read in between the lines what you want it to be. It is what it is. Kim is the queen, and I love Kim. And Nicki's the queen in her own right. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly the way I feel about it. So don't twist my words. Don't make it no way it is or it ain't. That's what it is. And I think they should be doing records together, as a matter of fact, instead of, you know, doing anything that isn't showing unification. But yo, man, I can't preach to the choir. Everybody grown. I done been through my things, and everybody was like, yo, you went through your things. People got to go through their own things. And right now, it's that dirty money time. I spoke on that, and that's what it is. And it's a positive thing, and that's what it is. Be clear.
It's Hot 97, Funk Flex, Diddy, Dirty Money.
And I will never forget the times I had with Kim. And we can have some more times, because I'm still here. Shout out to little Kim. Shout out to Kim. What's up, Kim? Shout out to Kim. For real. And shout out to Nikki. Congratulations on those numbers, Nick. That's what's up.
Why is he out there working on Puff album when you got the Hit Factory? You got Daddy's House. You got the place where Tupac was shot at, Quad Studio. There's plenty of places Big could have been. Why the West Coast? Come on, man. And then you got a half retarded niggas like Lil C. Big love Cali. Big wanted his publishing. Big wanted his marketing. He knew he couldn't go nowhere and be who he needed to be without it. So if Puff would have told that nigga go to hell with gasoline draws on, that nigga would have went to hell. All money ain't good money, brother. That's my take on it, man. I don't know if you like it or not.
Diddy told her he was going to kill Biggie. She knew it was going to happen. She was purposefully not by her husband's side that night. It happened, and she was told she had to lie about it. And guess what? That lie held up until that boy turned 18, and he started having ideas of what he wanted to do with what he inherited, because the paperwork was set up for Faith to not be able to receive $1 from Biggie's estate unless it was for little Christopher. It's funny, when you ask Faith how long her and Biggie was together before they got married, the story changes every time. It was 10 days, it was 20 days, it was this days, it was that days. I'm not saying that she didn't develop feelings for him. I'm not saying that she didn't care about the father of her son. I'm saying she was hired for one job. Her being involved with Pac in the midst of all of that. But she didn't know Pac was Pac. I mean, come on, none of this shit makes sense. What really does make sense is that Diddy has had a long career of using to trap niggas into making them do what he wants to do, or using them to move them out the way. Struggling artists trying to make their way up, not getting the break that they needed. All of a sudden they stand next to the right guy, and then now you know that guy is dead and they're okay for life. Right. You know how many people in the business that happens to? Ask me how much different Faith life, her whole life career look. How does a woman with that much talent end up married to somebody like Stevie J?
$2 million. Biggie told him he was about to get paid and build something big, something separate from Diddy.
Big had a contract And what happened was when me and Puff rode on the plane coming back down there, Puff gave me his briefcase and everything like that. Like, yo, here, like me carry this. I said, all right, motherfucker, I got 5 hours, 6 hours on this thing. Let me see what's in the briefcase. And I seen big contract. And it was talking about, well, you get $250,000, you know, for signing. You're gonna get another $250,000, the thing go gold. Then you're gonna get this much and you're gonna get that much. And then at the end of the contract, I was skimming through it. At the end of the contract said, we're gonna discuss about you getting your publishing and your marketing back, right? So I was asking Biggs questions about that because I didn't know what publishing was. I didn't know what marketing was. And Big was showing me a contract because I was saying to Big was like, yo, Gene, I like you. I would take you with me, bruh, but you love that nigga too much. I said, love that too much? What do you mean I love it too much? He said, yeah, you love him too much, bruh. I would take you with me. I said, how you gonna take me with you and you broke? He said, I'm broke. I said, yeah, you broke, man. You owe Mike Gadget $30,000 for the system and them drop boxes he put in your truck. And he was like, yo, how you know that? I said, talk and run their mouth, Big. Yo, he said, oh, shit. He said, but I'm about to get this money. So he showed me, I said, you about to get that money? He said, yeah, look at this. It had Charlie Baltimore, Cameron, Little C's, Little Kim, Junior Mafia, Tracy, I don't know, Tracy Murray?
Tracy Lee.
Tracy Lee and the commission. And I think the contract was for so many years for like 62 million, it comes out to like $62 million.
And that's where things get more complicated. Gene Deal believes that Biggie was set up, that his death wasn't a drive-by.
Biggie got killed, right? How often do you think about that night? Because when I talk to you, I can tell that, you know, that night, that still get to you. And I can tell, man, that you still replay that night over and over in your head, thinking about what you could have did to avoid Biggie from getting killed.
Sometimes I can't get shit out of my mind, but I have good days, bad days. You gotta realize when you hear the music, I go into a restaurant and they playing the Biggie music and they got like on the walls of Big, places I go and I see that and you was put in a place to try to save this kid's life. And I seen the joy, the pain, I seen all the bull unfold. I saw this kid lose his life. This kid died while I was pulling him out the car. He had died, man. That's why I told my life story in my book. That's why I told what I seen and what I felt that night in the book. And the second one is a tearjerker, and it's crazy because I'm telling all the stories in it. So to answer your question, you have your good days, you got your bad days, bro. You was there when arguably the world's greatest rapper was murdered. I wouldn't put nobody in my shoes because I don't feel like they could handle it. If I didn't have God in my life, I didn't have people praying for me, I don't know if I could handle it.
Yeah, man, I know that gotta be hard, man, seeing all these reenactments of Biggie Death and seeing these reenactments and these biopics and documentaries and stuff like that. I know that gotta be hard to see, man.
It just hurt because they lie too much, man. It'd be a lot of the shit lies the way they put it together because they listening to these white boys who wasn't even there. How the hell and I don't want to make this racial, but they take these white boys who wasn't even there and want to use the story that they want to tell, which is not the truth. Wasn't no drive-by. Car was standing there at the corner. We talk about shit all the time, bruh. The stories they tell, it's not